Okay, so where are we putting this button?
In the action bar.
And where is the action bar? Oh, up here in the app bar.
It's got an actions thing.
It's got an actions. Title. Actions right here. Yeah, there we go. Action. It's just like a button.
Icon button, I think.
Button. Oh. Hello, Internet. Didn't see you there.
All right, it was funny when we rehearsed it. I think we told the joke to ourselves too many times.
It's true. It does get old. Hello, Internet. It's Rubber Duck Engineering, number lucky 13.
Welcome.
Oh, I guess we could like embiggen ourselves. Whoa!
Live from the internet. It's a Rubber Duck Engineering.
And how are you, Dr. Bart?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Other than another 4-hour night of sleep or something like that, I'm doing great.
I feel like about half the episodes you talk about how you're not getting enough sleep. I wonder if there's some way you could improve your life.
I'm working on. I'm ramping up for I'm going to take a week of vacation here soon, and it's going to fix all my woes.
Oh, hi, Hal 9000.
Hello, Hal 9000. So that's probably not the voice. I don't know. Anyways, shall we get back into it? That was our resolution this week, to get into it faster.
Yes, I think last time it took us 20 minutes to type the first line of code, which didn't seem like the ethos we were going for.
Okay, well, here we are. Before the second minute, back to the code.
Okay, I think we should give some intro, though. So,
oh, yeah, what are we doing?
Yeah, so we're working on this Conway game of life, which is a cellular automaton. And we've gotten to the point where we can show the life form, we can see the life form evolve according to the rules of the game. And what we were interested in going for today was like really big scale. Like, how big can we make the world before the computer explodes? Or I don't know what bad thing will happen. But.
Well, I've told you already, this computer is already like taking off like an aircraft. But we'll see if we can actually make it levitate.
Yes, and so we're thinking in order to do that, we want to be able to input some interesting pattern. And last time we discovered that there is this run length encoding file format for the life forms. And so we thought maybe we should make a way to put one of those in.
Sounds like a great episode. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
To the code machine.
So I think where we were is we were trying to make a button that you could click that then it would let you put in the text.
And so the action button, that's going to put it up here, like next to the Flutter demo homepage, which maybe we should change the title of.
Yes.
I love how we get like 3 episodes into a thing before we...
I can change the name of the homepage. Here we go.
Oh, man. You mean coding at the same time?
Oh, Conway is...
For reference, he's changing this widget title, which this is all just part of the Flutter template. He's passing a different one up here. Whatever. I'll let him do it off screen. In the other oven, while I bake with the icon button.
Yes, I think as soon as you make some valid syntax, I think it will hot reload.
What are you saying about my syntax?
I'm saying it's not valid.
Let's see, it's icon button. Let's see what's in this.
I think it's icon.
Oh, just icon? Oh, I see icon button, icon, and then it's like, oh, icon, and then it's icon, and icon.
I don't know.
You type icon a lot of times, I remember.
The icons will continue until morale improves. Yeah, it's icon, right. Parentheses, icons.
And there we go.
More icon.
More icon. Apply the...
Apply the icon. We have not been drinking. It's really true.
We really have not. I have some tea, but it has only tea in it. Oops. The buttons were pressed. It may be the sleep or lack thereof. Oh, come on. Eric, contain yourself.
All right, we should pick a delightful icon.
You don't like Access Alarm?
I mean, Access Alarm is good. Do you want to research a delightful icon?
Sure. You research a delightful icon.
There's so many icons. It's really out of control.
You could even go to Cupertino icons. Don't restrict yourself to the material icons. What?
You know, I learned that these things are all stored in a font. So they're all some like lettering, some crazy nonsense font of icons.
I actually just learned today from my team that the Cupertino icons are now fancier because Apple made them fancier. So, we had to make our version of them fancier too. They're bolder and with more round. Okay.
More cowbell.
More cowbell. Okay. Actions, action button. We got to tell the button what it's doing. I feel like on pressed. Oh yeah, you guessed it. And what is on pressed going to do? This is going to now like show a dialogue, right? Because we wanted to show the dialogue to get the text string.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's all these simple dialogues and stuff. I don't know which one you want to use.
To the documentation, Batman. What is it? Flutter.dev or docs.flutter.dev. Oh, typing is hard.
There's so many icons. I'm still scrolling and I'm still at the top.
I think if you search on Google, there is a page that'll let you search through and like filter through. You don't have to go to the Flutter docs. We didn't add any like winnowing search to the icons. Sorry, there are limits. Or third-party opportunities, we'll say it that way. Okay, so we got to do a dialogue. I bet there's like a cookbook on this.
Okay, I've decided linear scale is the icon of destiny.
Come on.
You're looking for how to show a dialogue?
Yeah. I figure like we must have I could also just search the Googles. Show dialogue Flutter. How about autocompletes because it just knows that I'm gonna Flutter.
Yeah, I think you want show dialogue and simple dialogue. Oh, alert dialogue. Oh, a row of buttons below a body.
Row of buttons. Simple dialogue handles scrolling. We don't need scrolling. I think we could try either.
Okay.
It's not really an alert.
It's not really an alert. I think it's a simple dialogue.
Okay,
there's some sample code and simple dialogue.
Show dialogue. Oh, you said there's simple dialogue and some sample code? I like the sample codes.
Mm-hmm.
More the copy pasta. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Hello. What are we doing here?
Oh, that's right. The dialogues can return values, which I guess we could use. We could put the world as the return value.
We could also just make this a persistent text field.
Oh, okay. Eric, if that's what you want to do, we can do it that way.
Okay, I'm doing it. Although, of course, then I'm still going to have to detect like on enter or whatever, but that's fine. We had a little debate off screen in the green room as to whether we're going to do a dialogue, and now I'm calling in reinforcements. Okay, so column. Of course, now we have to remember how to do a text field, but we did one before, and it wasn't that hard. Text input.
I think it was text field.
Text field. I remember feeling this way when I first learned Cocoa, Mac system. In fact, I remember saying to someone, it was like, whenever you find yourself writing more like 5 lines of code, you probably just need to go learn the framework more. And I feel that way sometimes with Flutter. Like it's all just written. I just have to figure out where it is in the great tree of widgets.
Particularly complicated because there's this like so many different like variations and levels of text inputs. Text
field. I think we looked at this before. Oh, and then there was like placeholder. All right, we just need to look it up. Flutter text field.
Pull it up over here so you can see it too.
Flutter text field. Aha. Yeah, and even in purple because we looked it up.
Yep, there's example code here.
There we go. Yeah, we used exactly this before. Okay. So we're going to put a text field. It doesn't need to obscure. Mm-hmm. And we're going to have it say R LE.
Yeah, it looks like there's an unsubmitted callback that will give you the text that the user typed.
Unsubmitted. It doesn't seem to like me.
It takes a string value.
Okay. Try.
Oh, it's outside the decoration. I'll move it up for you.
Oh yeah. Whoa. All the codes. Poor little analyzer. It's sort of happy. I see. I'm missing a comma here. There we go. Now everybody's happy. Okay, so theoretically, if we type foo here and hit enter, we should see it in debug console. Ta-da! Okay, so that works. Now we just need to like actually parse the RLE.
Oh, it's a minor detail.
Okay, so what is this API going to look like? It's going to be like world is equal to world.from.
Yeah, from Arlie, I guess.
Arlie. Do we need to like error check this at all? Like we presumably shouldn't hose the world.
Right, so we should do a try probably. I imagine this thing is going to throw if it doesn't get it right.
Or return null, but yeah.
What's a constructor, so it won't be able to return null.
I see. And the assignment will fail in that case, so we don't have to worry about nuking our world. But we do need to catch it and then like somehow tell the world or tell the user that the parse failed.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's there's a little sort of a dialogue at the bottom, little thing that pops up. It's like a materials, not shelf. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, the snack bar.
Snack bar.
Yeah, search for show snack bar.
Display a snack bar. What a weird name for a UI component.
You just followed the spec. Like the UX designers invented all this wonderful stuff.
Display a snack bar. Okay. Provide an optional action. No, we don't need that. Okay.
So here we're going to get into the issue that because we're doing all this in like the main build function.
Yeah.
The build context that you have here is outside of the scaffold, so you won't find the scaffold. So I wonder if we should break this text field up into its own widget, like it's a tree widget.
Yep, let's do it. Let's make it into an. I think if you just select it, or if I select it and I can use this little, this guy.
Oh, the light bulb will like refactor into widget.
I thought there was that ability.
That would be amazing.
I could have sworn that there was like a. Well, I don't know. I'm just making things up now. Where's is it Nash?
Nash seems to know everything. So
where's Nash when we need him?
I'll do it with like stone knives and bearskins here.
No, no, do it. That's great. As long as you're wearing your bearskin. Or whatever. Okay. Is it in a paste buffer somewhere?
I put it above the My Homepage widget. The aptly named My Homepage widget.
Oh, please. That's like a crucial widget for any large-scale application.
I don't think if you go look at a professional Flutter application, I would not be at all surprised if it had a My Homepage widget. So this callback I'm going to put back in the... I see what you're going to do. Yeah, so we're going to have an onChanged... what is it called? Value changed? World state.
Oh, to clear this or something?
No, to give it back to the caller. So like if instead of calling set state here,
I see.
I'm going to call the caller like this.
Mm-hmm. Well, does this thing want to be doing the try catch, or should the I guess so. Like that's the meat of this, right?
Yeah, the meat of it is the try catch and all that stuff. And this thing just says when there's a new world available, it calls you back.
Yeah.
It's a pretty clean contract.
Okay. A little weird, but yeah.
So I'm happy about my build function.
You are or not?
Oh, I need to return. Okay.
Okay. And on world, I see.
We need to implement from RLE.
That's fine. That's what the rest of the episode's going to be.
Okay, so now I'm going down to where we instantiate it just to change it.
But this from RLE, we should stub it out so that it doesn't, so it stops yelling at us. It's going to go into Conway, I think. World state. So state.from RLE, string RLE. So it's like a not implemented, right? Raise or throw?
Let's throw. You just throw argument error is the easiest one. Yeah, but not implemented is probably slightly more accurate, but this is fun. Oh, you need a factory.
A factory? Am I inside a constructor? Like, what is this like random if here?
Oh, you might be inside a constructor.
See, this is what 4 hours of sleep does to you, kids. I'm sure some of our viewers are definitely not kids.
What is going on in this file? What have you done here?
Okay, this is where we go to the GitHub time machine. What did we do?
What did we do?
Somehow the cell state get at got duplicated?
It escaped.
Where is that even? What?
Maybe
Okay.
you pasted it in, you selected the line. I was looking at my screen.
I probably did. So I'm gonna check out lib Conway. Okay. And now I'm gonna go back to this.
There we go.
Okay. Life is better.
Truth and sanity has been restored.
Yeah. This bothers me that it doesn't wrap. Okay. Soul is restored. Okay. Did we not hot reload here? Was this needed to be a hot restart? Well, it hasn't successfully done it yet, so let's see.
Well, the label text is still incorrect, right?
World available, string value. On world available from RLE. What'd you say? Yeah, like this hasn't refreshed. I don't understand what this is. Restarted application. This must be old.
Yeah.
Bug console, clear. Restart. Nope. Argument type in main Dart 180. This thing.
Oh, that's the wrong type. That needs to be a world state now. Oh yeah, and then that's also wrong right underneath it because it's already been parsed. We just say world equals value. was my fault. Okay.
Okay.
Now try it.
Okay. Now it's successfully hot reloaded. Hi, Arlie Parser. Yes. Okay. Shall we go Arlie?
Yeah. I like the pattern of doing the error cases first, because otherwise you forget them, right?
Yeah, I just like always sort of like typing the pseudocode that you turn into real code. I don't know. It just feels right to me. Yeah. So Arlie, teach me. Where is the Arlie spec?
Okay. So I found the URL. You go to conwaylife.com, which knows everything about the Conway Game of Life.
I mean, where else would you go but conwaylife.com?
Actually, if you just search Google for Conway run length encoded, it'll take you to conwaylife.com.
Encoded. Oh, I've already been there.
Already been there.
Okay. First line is a header line.
And begin.
Embiggen. I got that phrase from you. I don't know where you picked up embiggen.
Oh, it comes from The Simpsons. A noble spirit embiggens the something soul. It's like the motto of the town of Springfield in The Simpsons.
Today I learned. I could probably count on one hand the number of Simpsons episodes I've seen. So I'm glad that you complete that side of our yin yang.
I have an assignment for you this weekend.
Oh?
It begins with the letter S.
I don't know. TV and I don't really get along. But first line, header line, yeah. Okay, so this tells us how big to make our world. Great. No, is that?
Yeah, that's the size.
Why is it? Oh, I see X and Y. I see. In case we want to go 3D.
My experience is that all file formats are insane. So why should this be any exception?
Except for HTML. That's perfectly rational. Okay. Run count mission omitted. Yeah. So it's run count and then tag. Run count is the number of occurrences of tag. Tag is one of 3 characters: dead, alive, end of line.
Mm-hmm. And what threw me about this is you can have an end of line before you've given all the values for that line, and then it just means all the rest of them are dead.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it has a bunch of examples down lower. Twas brillig. We're all the references.
Yes, that's the Jabberwocky.
The Jabberwocky, yes.
Which I read to my kid, but I haven't read it in a long time, and I think he was quite young for it. I should try again. Same as C, but not recommended. Don't use the lowercase ones.
Even we recognize it, lowercase c. That's just not going to fly.
Totally not acceptable. The name of the pattern. Sample. Okay.
These are oddballs. Let's not worry about the oddballs for now. Let's just go make a basic one work.
Like this one.
That one. I think we should make that one work.
Let's do it. Oh, hello. What do I do? Okay. To the test machine.
To the test case number 1.
We haven't typed a line of code, but we're going to do the test. Conway test. For me, like, I don't know, I've never read anything about test-driven development, but just the idea of writing a test when you're doing a parser just makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this. Is that the Darty way?
Yes, and you can toss in a new line at the beginning, and it disappears magically.
It's a happy camper. Okay. Expect.
Yeah, you don't need the function. That was because that test was an exception test. It was testing for an exception.
And let's close up this. Okay. So we want expect world state. The state thing needs to go from RLE. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we want world state dot from fixture.
Yep.
And let's see, what is this fixture supposed to parse as? Actually, let's do this.
So B is dead.
So first, this should really be saved somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah, you should pull it off on a variable.
World. Bar. My keyboard felt like it was getting better for a while, and it's gotten worse again.
Oh, it's definitely making a lot of R's. I can totally see.
Oh, and P's, and it is the chili has come back to haunt me.
Oh, it's spread out from the R. It's not just the R anymore.
Oh well, so when I dumped a bowl of chili,
Yes.
onto my keyboard, I really dumped a bowl of chili onto the whole keyboard, and I thought it was dead. I thought it was gone. And then I read online, and it turns out if you wash it with distilled water, no like chemicals or anything, because you don't want to take the oil off or something. I don't know. You actually can get it all off. And then I dried it off, and it worked, except it stutters.
It's got a poltergeist that
contribute
to your coding project.
Okay, so now we want.
Yeah, I can read it off to you. So B is dead.
Okay. So
for us, that's dot, right? And then O is alive, so that's X. And then the $ here says everything else is dead. And since we know that it's got O.
So this is dead, alive.
Yep.
And this is alive.
Yep.
Yeah, I got it.
Exclamation point means all done.
All done. Go home.
Yep.
Okay. Why is this? Oh, because is it trying to do interpolation, or to start syntax highlighting that? We don't need to escape these.
Well, that's a good question.
I bet R. Isn't there like I can make it a raw string? Yeah, there you go. My Dart knowledge is in there somewhere. Okay, so we want to check to make sure that it equals the fixture. We also want to expect, does the world need a name, or are we just going to ignore that part? Let's just ignore that part. Expect world dot width 3.
Well, that'll get covered from the fixture, right?
Oh, I see.
I think this is a good test. I think we try to pass this test.
Okay, let's make sure we fail.
Oh, we're going to fail. We're just going to throw an exception.
Oh.
No, I believe you.
Test. Runaway test.
I think having done this stuff for a long time, it just really just teaches humility. It's like the computer is always right. You're always wrong. Like any assumption you make is wrong.
It's the times when you're like editing the file that's in the wrong checkout, and you're running the tests out of the other checkout, or you're like running the debug build, but you're running the tests out of the profile build, and it has a stale one from like 3 weeks ago, and you spend a day debugging.
So the version of this that happens to me now, because I'm working on low-level systems programming, is I'm editing the wrong libc headers. I'm editing the libc headers that are installed into my system, as opposed to the one that I'm using to build the libc that I'm working on.
Yes.
Anyway, it totally threw the wrong exception because we're missing a parenthesis. But I'll add the parenthesis.
Well, this is why we...
Okay, try it again.
Oh, with more parentheses? Nope. What are we doing here? Did we not... Is it just because it's like I need to save?
Oh, you may need to save. Maybe I can't save for you.
Let's see. Hold on. Can't find...
Yeah, that's the same error.
Why does this test take so long to boot up? Like, what's it doing?
It's compiling the test runner. So if you do Dart, the like test command instead, it'll.
I'm sorry. If I do.
I think if you say Dart test and then say test/Conway tests.
Oh, really?
Yeah, then it'll run a pre-compiled version of the test runner. Or it will complain about the Flutter SDK not being available.
What does that even mean?
Maybe in your shell you don't have the some environment variable set or something.
Okay. That's kind of neat. Like I knew that Dart has this like single smart runner now instead of like just the Dart binary. I've not really used it. I remember advocating for that. Okay, so we still can't. Why is it not working? See, this is the time when you're running out of the wrong checkout or the wrong lib copy of C. All right, let's get diff head. Where was the error that you fixed?
It was right at the end, the second to last line.
Does it look fixed here?
It looks fixed there. Is the analyzer mad or is the analyzer happy?
The analyzer seems happy. As happy as it can be when we don't override equals and hash code at the same time.
I see. Oh,
What
you
are
know
we
what?
doing?
No, it's mad because it doesn't have Dart UI.
Why does it not have Dart UI?
Because it's the Dart runner, not the Flutter runner. Try just running Flutter test.
Okay, but why are we in? So it's a good point, but why does it need Dart UI? Oh, because we have Flutter Foundation. Why do we have Flutter in this? It's okay that we do. I don't
know. Try taking it out and see what it gets mad about.
Change notifier.
Oh, change notifier. Yeah.
Let's see. So we'd have to like wrap a controller object around our model object or something to.
I think it's fine. I think you just embrace the fact that we're writing a Flutter program and.
Okay. And let our layers bleed. At least it's telling us now how long it's taking.
Yeah, if it was blank for 12 seconds, I'd be concerned. But a number counting up, I'll stare at for a really long time before I worry about what's going on.
What is taking 22 seconds?
I don't know. I think if it gets to 42, it knew exactly my level of patience.
Okay, good. We got the
invalid arguments. Awesome.
It only took us 30 seconds to get there. Okay, so let's do this thing. So Conway from LRLE. Okay, we're gonna write a whole parser in a factory constructor. Probably not, but we'll start here.
Start there.
Start here.
So what are the rules about comments?
I think we should just ignore lines that start with hash for now, because we don't do anything with them.
Okay. So you want to split on lines as our first move here?
Sure, that's very simple. So Arlie split. I have no idea if this works.
That's legit.
It's legit. Okay, so
do you want me to start spamming things out here? So like I would write an iterator like for line in lines. Line dot starts with.
Yeah, I was thinking through in my head like whether I wanted like 4 or 4 each here, because the first few lines are sort of special. Oh, okay, yeah, I like that.
Okay, and then, oh, I see what you're saying.
Well, like we have to figure out, we have to collect the XY line before we can do much in our world.
We need like a state to be in, like.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have to like let go of our parser knowledge and like not make this the real ultimate RLE parser.
I was like, when are we going to bust out like yak and bison?
Yeah. Oh man, we're going to separate out the tokenizer from the lexer. Those are the same thing. Never mind. But
the starts with is not legit. Can you research what? How do I check starts with?
Where's our national? We need him. Starts with start. You've been writing other language. Starts with. Totally.
Is it on string?
Does it just not like you? Does it wanna? I think it's upset about this. What's the continue? Expected to find. What is going on here? I can't see through your cursor. I'm waiting for the inner tubes to settle here.
Okay. Maybe I'll stop typing so the inner tubes will merge.
It's okay.
Somehow
I see. Okay.
the if got totally obliterated as it traveled through the tubes.
It's harder on some parts of typing than others. The tubes are lossy. What is it doing? Whoa. Okay. Yeah.
It's still unhappy with starts with, like it's underlined.
Starts.
Oh. Okay, great.
Needs more S's. Okay.
So now we need to
Continue.
parse the size. Okay.
I think what will free us is if we allow ourselves to write a more brittle parser. Like I think there's a lot of. I see. If we haven't had it's like either we have the size or we haven't, and if we don't have the size, the only thing we're looking for is sizes. Everything else is an error.
Yeah. So I don't really know. I guess we're supposed to split on comma.
Makes sense to me. Is the space sensitive?
I don't know. I mean, this is why you need a real spec for these things. But I think we're going to go somewhere like...
Extended RLE format. What does that even mean? You're going to give me a... What is it called? Like the notation for parsers?
Oh, the... like
BNR or something?
Brackets enormous form or something.
Yeah.
I'm going to just assume some very simple things here. So I'm just going to assume that they're...
Okay, sorry. I took us away from the code. Yeah, I think we should write the dumbest parser possible, and we'll go back and make it smarter.
Yeah, so like...
We're going to split on the comma. Split on the space. Wow, the tubes are really slow tonight.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you didn't do anything wrong. Just
let's keep going here.
Yeah, we're just going to get your typing here in. Like our viewers have two choices: either they get a lot of R's, or slow incremental load in. I'm going to close our problem window.
Okay, so now we just switch on the key.
We're still a few lines back, I think.
Okay.
If you take a look at your screen, you'll see.
Oh wow, you're way back there.
We're way back there.
I'm going to be typing really, really fast. It'll be amazing.
Well, I'm starting to have concern that it might have the tubes might be clogged.
Okay. Do you want me to send this to you through a different has less clogs in the tubes?
By carrier pigeon?
What happens if you hit cancel on that dialogue? I don't know whether that will...
I mean, I don't know what actions I can take that won't like blow yours away. Like if I hit save, like what happens?
Here, why don't I just send this to you through? Can I send it to you through the private chat of the broadcast studio?
Sure.
You receive that?
Oh. I see something. I see your cursor moving. Oh my goodness. Only the first N characters of it.
That too, although unclogged, is small.
Oh, here you go.
Oh, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
You're typing.
I'm doing it.
You froze again. No. I was reminded. Oh,
Yeah.
look at you go.
Look at me go. This is,
Okay.
You're going to be really disappointed in a second.
Is that it?
That's it. That's where I got.
Oh. Okay. Whoa, what did we get to here? So height, no.
There are a bunch of problems, but we'll start fixing the problems one by one.
Attributes.
So strip.
Okay.
I'm trying to strip all the white space out. I didn't know how to do that.
Key. I mean, we could also just regex this thing. We could just pull out a bazooka.
I see where you're going there. How do I take a string and turn it into just an integer?
It's like int.parseInt or something like that. I think it's a method on int. Or integer, maybe. No, maybe it's on int. I don't know. Oh man, the tubes. It is really impressive how condensed. Because like, we just do like.
It's just parse apparently. I guess it would be redundant to say parse int. Parse int.
This is then just like regex. This would be I'm off in my own little world here.
Oh, that's too easy. That's
well, I don't know if this is any more readable is the problem. Actually, you can just make it this, right? That makes it a little more readable. It is kind of amazing what a tool regexes are.
They're so powerful.
They're also powerful at times. But like, there you go. There's your whole parser. I mean, it's incredibly fragile.
They're huge bug factories, though. Like, what if you switched X and Y in a different order? It wouldn't get it.
Well, but like, I mean, that's a test case we could write. But what is the proper behavior of our RLE parser? Like, I think if we threw a bunch more RLEs at it, we would learn quickly what the universe expects us to be able to parse.
That's true.
It's really amusing to me. Your cursor is displaying in one place, and the text is being inserted in another.
You're trying to figure out what the internal model of this thing is.
Well, clearly the text buffer and the cursor position are separate in the model.
I think I typed out the whole thing except for strips. I need to figure out how to strip white space from a string.
Are you looking it up, or do you want me to?
I'm looking at it. Okay. Trim. It's called trim.
Why does it say KV? Is that your key and value? I take it.
Yeah, I can. Key value.
I see. No, it's fine. I just was. Dart doesn't have destructuring assignment, does it?
It might.
I don't think so. That feels like a yeah. All right.
Okay, so I think I typed in a thing. I don't know how long it's going to take to come through the tubes.
I think it's here. Your trims haven't come through yet. I worry that we've, I mean, this is an engineering podcast, but we may have over-engineered this.
I do not doubt that we over-engineered it. No one ever accuses me of under-engineering anything. I take it as a sign that I might be rotated on the wrong side of that equation.
I've never heard that phrase. You really under-engineered this.
I totally forgot to say half size equals true.
Okay. We're gonna roll with the engineering level we're at.
And then at the end we should return. So we could test this with a very, very simple example that was always empty, right?
Mm-hmm.
So should we write that test case, or do you want to?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's write some test cases. It'd be even better if we could get some test cases from someone.
Well, there are a bunch on this wiki.
I don't think they're going to have this level of test case.
I can try to search for that. So let's say Conway.
Oh, my poor little machine.
We trying to apply engineering discipline to a thing that's really not.
That doesn't have it?
Yeah, I'm like sort of like we're asking for like a standardized set of test vectors for this like wiki like notation.
Are you saying that most people who work on RLE parsers haven't like replaced one of the world's most ever used parsers? Yes.
Not okay. Everything is the HTML5 like ACID 3 test, you know.
Oh man. Okay. Okay. So what are we doing here?
I actually thought we would do a test that was something that was valid. So I was just going to cut that off and be like that.
Okay.
So like expect width equals 3. I would like the level of test I was going for. When
we're waiting for the tubes.
Maybe I'll let you do the typing for the balance of the show here.
We'll just have some extra R's in here. We had a big meeting today because we do every once in a while. We're at Google, and just all of the tech went wrong, and it was just very humbling to remember that even in the future, the tech does not work.
This is like the demo gods will always.
Oh yes, they will smite you. Okay, we don't want to check both the width. We want to check height, unless that's coming from the tubes yet. Okay.
No, you got everything I put in the tubes.
Okay, shall we? We have to wait 30 seconds for the Flutter tester to do its whatever that dance is that I'm doing. Okay, so we think that this one is going to come out empty. No, it doesn't ever create the. Does it actually create the world?
I think that one will come out empty. Yeah, it creates the world.
Oh, it did. Yeah, okay. Some test. Well, that's lovely. I thought you made an expect.
I made all those matchers, but we're not using the matchers. We could just convert it to a string, to call toString on it instead of.
Well, we changed toString. You mean toFixture?
toFixture, yes. Sorry. Oh, I think that's why it's actually doing this. If we had a toString, it would show up here.
Mm-hmm. It would. Okay, so invalid argument in this one, as we expected. Oh, this one. Sorry, this one got invalid argument, which it shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
This is from RLE empty.
Yeah, empty.
And this, it had the wrong name. This one, we got a mismatching world. That's fine.
Respect. Yeah, so
this one, go ahead, sir.
No, that was a previous run. It passed. The test passed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, only one test failed, which is the test that we expect to fail. I think if we change the test slightly to use to fixture instead of from fixture, like if we just put this to be,
then it'll just magically.
I just think we'll get prettier errors out of the test framework.
Yeah, and we're texting the same code there effectively, because we already know that the fixture stuff works.
And I'm hoping it'll just show an empty, like the actual will be empty and the expected will be full of. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. Exactly that.
This is great. Okay. So we got about 10 minutes left. I think we can get this going. So I think we plow on through.
Do you want to try the typing since the
Yeah,
tube's a little frustrating?
I can do the typing. Okay, so now we have to then keep track of.
So now we're in like we've passed that.
We need to be in else territory.
And else, yep, exactly.
Right. Or actually, we don't want to be in else. We want to be like just like assert have size basically, right? Because if you got here, you need to have your size.
Correct. So you can say like where it says has size, you can then say continue to or yeah.
Yep. Okay. And so now
you should yes. Yep.
So now we just write it at the top level.
Yep.
Okay. And let's see, what is that we're parsing again?
Whoa.
Sorry, I ended up deep in some RLE hole here.
I think if you look at our test, I think there it is. So we need to go like character by character and say like, are you a number? If so, get your number.
Because the number applies to the tag. It's when it's a number, and how big can the numbers be? Right, we could have many digit numbers.
I think if you just see a digit, then we're gonna have to call some Dart function that can. I guess we could collect up all the digits and then try to parse them.
Or we could split on known characters. I don't know if it'll do that, but like we could split on a regex, which is these 3 characters. That probably doesn't. I know that doesn't necessarily help us.
I think we just want to scan through it and just like if it's a digit, accumulate it into our digit string.
All right, let's try that. So this is line is our current thing, yeah. Line.
Can you do like 4 character in string?
I think it's like string in line.
Is that legit?
I don't know. Iterate characters. Runes.
Okay. Sure, we can be totally like Unicode aware. It'll be amazing.
Runes feels mystical.
It does feel mystical.
Oh, interesting. That was another way to do it. You can also split.
No, runes is a legit way of doing it. It's totally the right way of doing it. Unicode people would
line dot runes for each.
Oh, you can just say for string C in runes, right?
Well, is rune a type C? Whatever, it'll yell at me if it isn't. In line.runes. Okay, and then if C. I don't know if I can.
This will be, no, this gave you ints. That's not what you wanted. Let's give you like the Unicode character of it.
Well, I mean, we can convert back, but that's fine. We just do in line.split.
Okay.
I mean, it's lame, but it works. If C, I can do a set comparison, but I can also just do this. B or O, or if it's or, it's this one, isn't it? O or C is equal to, okay. Yeah. See, we're going to need another state machine here. We'll have, what's this thing called? We'll just do run count. 1. Okay, so if you're one of these, then
I think you might just want to handle it separately. Like you could just switch on the C, because if it's a B, you're going to call one function. Like you're going to want to keep track of the X and Y, like where you are in the world as you're machine gunning things out.
You are, aren't you? X, Y. Sorry, you keep track of what?
Yes, like the simple case is, if it's a B, then is B alive or dead? I forgot.
I don't remember either.
B is dead, so don't do anything. So if it's O, if it's alive, the simple case is you just call world dot.
Right?
Yeah, and then you want to increment X.
Yeah, I agree. Splitting these out is the correct way to go.
Yeah, so it's $. Yeah.
Okay. And now this is going to be X equals 0, Y plus equal 1. Continue.
So B is not quite correct, because for B, we're going to have to increment X, even though we don't set anything in the world.
I wonder if X increment should be outside this. No, I think this is fine.
Well, once we can type this out, but once you type this out, we're going to want to incorporate the run length by wrapping loops around each of these statements. I wonder if you can run length. Yeah, you can totally run length a $sign too, according to the spec.
Correct. You can. And there's actually an example of it doing that. And we also, this also needs to mark the rest of them dead.
No, they're dead.
They default dead.
Yeah, I'm going to make this into a backslash here.
Okay. So it seems your commands are coming through much faster now.
So I'm just going to say like plus equals run count here. And I was going to say for
yep. Okay. So much for your
the clog again. I shouldn't type. I'll just let you type.
It's fine. Well, we need to fix that, but that could be a tomorrow problem.
You don't need a loop here. You can just increment Y by run count.
We don't need to do. Not marking anything dead or alive. Come on, dudes. I might have like saved over the top of your edits here.
That's okay. So now we need to actually compute the run count. Don't worry about that. It'll come through eventually.
So if it's anything else, then we try and parse int.
Yeah, so I guess it's interesting what happens if you parse int, which like accumulate it into an intermediate string, right?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. You do. And then you have to, when you see any of the above, you want to flush that into the run count.
Right.
Okay. So we're hitting time. I'm now doubtful of our ability to finish this parser.
Really? I think all we need to do is compute the run count and we're done. And look for the bang at the end.
Okay. Am I waiting for more from your tubes?
No, they're all there.
Okay. So so we want int, we want string run count buffer. Okay. So not one of these. I don't know what this is, but maybe that was important. Maybe it wasn't. Otherwise, we're going to run count buffer and see, right? And then we're going to do int run count 1. One if c is equal to b or c is equal to o or c is equal to, and we want to run count is equal to int dot parse this is like if run count is not empty. Am I heading in the right direction, you think? Okay, I'm going to parse the run count.
So I do this slightly more functionally. So
Yeah.
I would just define a little closure function that flushes the run count buffer and then returns the run count as an int. And then everywhere in that like CBO thing where you want the run count, you can just call that function to drain the buffer. And then you don't have to write this complicated conditional logic.
So you would just do flush count.
Mm-hmm. So here you have to capture it, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine. This reminds me of the parser, HTML5 parser. All those little helper functions. Flush. Okay. And so now we need something that's in, we need to find this in scope of the run count buffer. Never remember to start have subfunctions like this.
It does, yes.
Int flush. Okay. So if run count buffer is empty, return 1. Otherwise, return int.parse run count buffer. And that I think will throw an exception if it fails to parse, which is what we want.
Yep. I think if we were being super rigorous, we would catch the exception and rethrow it as something else. But
we want hold on, we want this to be run count. 1. I want to like make sure the buffer is cleared. So I want string buffer is equal to run buffer. Run. Right, you said something and I didn't really listen to you. I was in the zone. Very difficult to talk and type.
You were talking about how parse will throw an exception, which is what we want. And I was saying if we want to be super rigorous about it, we would catch the exception and rethrow it as a...
Sure, as some nicer exception or whatever.
You want to return, when you say if is empty, you want to return 1 as opposed to... Dart is not the same as scheme or something.
Yeah,
Some also.
Every time...
Sorry,
you ever see... Go ahead, sorry.
No, go for it.
Did you ever see the movie... there's some movie about like the tobacco lobby or something like that. Where a guy... Oh, man. I'll have to think of the movie. Anyways, this is this guy who plays this like tobacco lobbyist. Anyways, he goes to see some movie star and talk about how he wants them to be... the movie's going to have some famous actors in it or whatever. And he's trying to sell these new cigarettes, and so he wants them to like be smoking, you know, in their movie. But they're in this like all oxygen environment, and and they have this little dismissive scene where like, well, we'll just explain it away, you know, sure, you know, whatever. And the conversation trails off. Every time we do that, sure, that little scene plays in my head. I'll have to dig it up for you. Anyways, visions into Eric's brain. You were saying.
So the last thing we have to deal with here is this exclamation point error.
Yeah.
Which I think just means we're done.
For some definitions are done, yeah. I could imagine all sorts of test cases that break this parser. Or edge cases that this parser should or should not handle, but we're not going to go there.
I think
we're going
append
to
is
under-engineer. Maybe we should have named the podcast Under Engineering or Under-Engineered.
And then just like flagrantly violate that all the time, over-engineering everything.
Well, it's like underbaked, you know. That's where the play is going. Okay. Dark's not going to get mad at us for not returning.
We totally return. When we hit the bang, we return.
We got to clean up these problems at some point. Avoid using braces and Oh, yeah, fine. Your face. Avoid using braces and interpolation. I know, I'm making edits to a part of the code that I shouldn't be, but I just couldn't do it anymore. What's this?
I don't know. I blame the live editing extension.
Okay. Now we just have hash code, but we knew about that limitation in our life. Yes. Now I totally have to look up that movie scene. And it's going to be nowhere close to what I remember it, but
things are always better in memory.
Did not find bang. Where's the bang? Is the bang optional?
Maybe the bang is optional. Because our test case has a bang.
Where?
So we messed something up.
Conway test. Well, the bang is an other character, I bet. We try to turn it into a number. Like the number was the everything else case, if I recall correctly. Coming up to the parser. I see. and we don't bother to flush the run count here. Huh. Good question. How do we get there?
I imagine we made some very basic mistake, like not running this code at all. Or like this line split thing not being legit.
That's very possible. This is also one of those times when you're like one error away, or you think you are, and you don't know whether you're 30 seconds or 50 minutes.
Let's just try it. This line split thing to me looks dodgy. So I'm just going to replace it with a sort of more normal iteration.
Wow. I'm reading, there is no standard class. This is Lasse explaining it like it is. Lasse is telling us there is no standard class that directly iterates over substrings of strings. The code unit getter gives an interval that iterates over the numerical UTF-16 units. Runes gives an interval that iterates over the code points, with the surrogate pairs combined.
Yeah, I mean, I see their point that string iteration is sort of a funny thing, but
It's so useful.
Do you want to try it and see if this is?
I'm happy to.
Oh, don't forget to save. I'm not sure that I'm able to save it, so.
Pretty sure I did. What is it that you actually edited?
So instead of this split empty string thing, which may be correct, it just looks scary. I just wrote a very simple for loop.
Okay. Did not find the bang.
Okay. Should we just print out every character as we encounter it to see that we're actually iterating the characters?
Well, do we ever set have size? We do. But yeah, let's do that.
We could debugger it if we're really getting fancy. But
what?
No, that's not. We're going to launch the Java missile. I'm scared of the Java missile.
Why is the Java missile required? Is it that I haven't set up the debugger correctly?
We don't know that it's required. We're just afraid of it. We just like are worried that anything we press might launch the Java missile.
This isn't actually going to print though, because I think test eats print statements.
Oh.
And since this is not a pure Dart test, I can't just run it in Dart.
I see. Well, maybe we should try the debugger.
What about the Java missile?
There's no way to make print statements from tests?
I don't know. But how do we run the test from?
There's a test button in the tests right above each test. So there's a debug button. I don't.
This is the one.
Oh, maybe that one is it's the other test.
Are we empty?
Yeah, it's legitimately telling us that there's no exclamation point in that test.
Because we did it right.
Because we did it right.
So we're too good at this game. Okay. So yes. What is required?
I think we should just put an exclamation point at the end of the other test.
Sure. Easy enough. It gets its own line, I think. Question, our little text input thing, does it accept multi-line input? I don't think it does.
I don't know.
There we go. All test pass. Perfect.
Success. No bugs.
So I think if we took this and tried to paste it into our running thing,
yeah,
the pandas would be sad.
I see, because it's not multi-line.
But maybe there's a way in main to have this be multi-line.
Oh, you think text field has a multi-line property?
I think so. I just have to go look. Max
lines.
Like I don't know what the
Set it to null if you want an unlimited number of lines. Yep.
formatting. I hear the what's that? It's the Rawhide song. Just formatting doesn't quite fit the meter. Okay. Come on. But it's hot restart. Show me the one true way. Oh man, I'm getting loopy and tired. What's going on here? Definitely not pressing the big red button, or we're going to wait for Xcode for 5 minutes. This is not restarting.
Can you look at the debug output? Right. Restart application.
Oh, there it goes. It's just taking 6 seconds. I wonder why. Wow. Must be my poor little machine. It's probably on its way to overheating here. Oh, there we go. But now we can't unsubmit it.
Oh, because we're just going to make new lines?
Where's our go button?
Should we declare victory here and come back and...
I think so.
Okay. I feel like we're an inch away from doing it, but I think it's a little over time. But
I'm also a little loopy at 20 minutes over time, and 20 minutes probably past my bedtime. So anyways, this has been great. As always, Dr. Barth.
Yeah,
we'll make it so RLE next time.
Too RLE, too furious.
Anyways, it was wonderful to see you, Dr. Barth. Good to see you, Hal. Take care.